Hey guys, how's it going? In this video, I'm going to show you a few tips for how to solo Hell on Earth mode in Killing Floor 3. Now, it's incredibly hard, but it's also incredibly rewarding when you manage to beat it. First up, before we begin, I want to show you a few tips for how to maximize your operational budget. There are a few misconceptions with the operational budget, so here's how it works. Now, with the operational budget at the start of the game, you can actually spend all of this, and in fact, I advise you to spend all of it because you do not get it back. So don't worry about saving money and that counting towards your next round, because all of the money that you don't spend you actually lose. So make sure to spend every single cent of your operational budget. Now, what I've done is customize my Contech weapon. I'm playing as the engineer, and from the first round, I've managed to be able to afford the Contech, so I can start the match with my custom Contech. So I definitely recommend customizing a weapon and making sure you're able to afford that from round one. I do have a link to the video where I customize this weapon, and trust me, this is a beast of a weapon. So I'll show you exactly how to customize this Contech. Essentially, it has first strike explosive ammo, and it also has deadly resupply. Now, what first strike does is make it so when you have a full clip, you do tons more damage. So I think it's 35 damage, and you can stack that, so you actually do 70 damage. And I've also got deadly resupply. Now, deadly resupply gives you a 33% chance to have a full clip after shooting off some of your ammo. Now, because this is stacked twice, it gives me a 66% chance to have a full clip. That essentially means with first strike enabled, you have a 66% chance to do 70% extra damage every single time you shoot the weapon. So yeah, I'll show you how exactly I customize this weapon and how to get those perks for yourself in the video I link above. So that's it for the operational budget. Always make sure to spend every single cent you have. But before we get into a match as well, a little thing about the body armor. So a lot of people aren't really spending the money on the body armor how they should be. Now, what I recommend doing is always skipping the green body armor. So always skip straight to the purple armor at the end and the blue armor, which is just before it. The reason for that is with the green armor, it only gives you a plus 5% physical boost, but with the blue armor, that triples to 15, and then with the purple armor, that goes all the way up to 30. So it's not all equal. It doesn't, go up equally. In fact, it's just way more cost effective to skip the green armor, don't waste money on that, and go straight to the blue and then the purple. So yeah, I would never buy the green armor. However, if you only can afford the green armor, then like I said before, spend your remaining operational budget on that, because you will lose it. Anyway, that's it for all the pre-game setup. Now, I'm going to show you a little tactic I like to use on this map, and this is such a cheesy way to play this map, and it only really works on this map, so it is very map specific. But what I like to do is sit in this specific spot and just watch the zombies all come towards me, or I should say Zeds. People in the comments are going to criticize me for saying zombies, but yeah, let's call them Zeds. And in this spot, the reason it's so good is because no Zeds can come behind you or from the sides. They all come from one direction, and that is straight in front of you. So it's such an easily defendable position. So just, do what I'm doing here. Sit back, watch the Zeds come to you, and you can shoot them all in one go. And like I said, this is Hell on Earth mode. This is solo, and it's really, really easy. You'll notice sometimes the husks come from the ceiling. Now, this is a really good thing, because when the husks come from the ceiling, you can shoot the canisters on their backs and they blow up all of the other Zeds around them. So when you see a husk, you're in for a good time. Here we have another husk. There we go. And you could wait till a bunch of Zeds are around them to shoot them. But I like to just shoot them as and when, because they do land with their canisters facing you. But if you give them a sec, they'll turn around, so it makes their canisters a bit harder to shoot. When you are backed up against the wall, you can use your grenades to get out of that. So always use your grenades if you run out of a bit of room. I like to also have my gadgets fully cooled down to use in case of emergency. But as you can see, we're already at the end of the first wave. We haven't really run into any danger there. And then depending on where the trading terminal pops up, we can run to that, refill our weapons, refill our ammo, and then go back to the same spot. Now I will show you later on in the video different tactics to use on different maps, but the message to take away from this is always have a different strategy for each map. So this strategy isn't going to work on other maps where Zeds can come from behind you, but it does show you that you need a specific plan in place for each map. So another map that I'm going to show you after this, you also can use a different kind of tactic, and it's what you make it really. You could say this is a cheesy tactic, but I'm pretty sure the developers had this in mind because of the way they designed the map. If they wanted Zeds to spawn behind you, they probably would have put a spawn point behind you. So this is a totally legit way to play. And you really have to take advantage of every single feature you can do. But yeah, we got the Z time as well. And I mean, I haven't really talked about the weapon, but the contact really comes into its own here. So this is a shotgun, and it's got explosive rounds. Now every time the weapon has a full clip, there's a chance it does 70 damage because I've stacked up first strike. And there's a 66% chance my clip refills itself automatically because I've got the deadly resupply bonus attribute as well. And then we're combining that with the Z time, so we slow down time, and it just causes absolute carnage. Such a fun way to play. And I mean, oh, here we go. We have the Scrake here, the dreaded Scrake. And the Scrakes are obviously going to be the hardest thing you're going to come up against. But they shouldn't be too much difficulty. A few shots of your Contec, maybe a grenade, and if you really need it, use the gadget as well. Now, oh, there we go. And then the Scrake is done. So this is the City Streets map, and here's a tactic I like to use on the City Streets. So completely different map, but you can invent your own tactics here, and this is the one I like to use. So with the City Streets, this is a map characterized by zip lines, and it's got some of the best zip lines in Killing Floor 3, and what you can use them for is just a quick getaway. So I like to stand by this zip line and just look down the street and look for all the Zeds coming down. They also drop down, but when they drop down, there's a bit of a delay before they start attacking because they land and the animation kind of sees them brace themselves and regain their balance before they start attacking. You can use that brief period to attack them. And if the Zeds start doing loads of damage and all start mounting up and you run out of options, you've got the zip line. So all you have to do is press X next to the zip line and you'll zip straight out of danger. And this is not the only zip line in the game, so there's an even, on the map, there's an even better zip line on the map, and it might be the biggest zip line in the entire game, and I love that zip line, so I'll show you that. But here we go, I've taken some damage, so I use the zip line, get out of danger. And there we go, bought myself a bit of time. Now the zombies will follow you up there, but that's okay because, you know, new area, new spawn points, and we have some time to rest up, maybe heal ourselves, and then we can go back down. Bought some time here. And then the danger started getting a bit too much, so I whipped out the gadget. And there we go. And, you know, Hell on Earth solo, I wouldn't say I'm the best Killing Floor 3 player, but it's totally doable. So if you were previously a bit nervous about taking on this difficulty in the game all on your own, it's really doable. You just have to have the right tactics. So as you can see, I'm running down the street. I've used the turret here, so I've got the turret working for me. I've got the shotgun with the explosive ammo, and there's also a fuel canister I can use as well to take them out. But if you did want an engineer build, by the way, I've got that linked as well. So this engineer build works really well with the Contec because of the explosive perks the engineer has, and it just increases those explosions even more. But there we go, there's the wave finished. I can run to the trading terminal, and actually I can afford my main engineer weapon. If I wanted, I've got the G33, and I can afford that straight in this round, the custom G33, which is even more powerful. But I didn't do that. You know, I've just gone straight to the Contech. You can upgrade your body armor as well. And here is the real zipline. Here is the best zipline possibly in the whole game. I love this one. And I like to make another stand here. So Killing Floor 3 for me is all about making stands in portions of the map. I don't like to just run around the map. I like to have a defensive position, and this one's great. Make sure you take out these gadgets and these cameras, by the way, because you will get scrap metal, electrical parts. Always take them out whenever you see them. These are the HOE equipment. So the reason I like this little cul-de-sac is, for starters, you can see the Zeds coming from miles away. They spawn all the way down here at the end of this bridge, and you can take them out. That's good. There's also not one, but 2 turrets. So you can use your little gadget to buy these turrets and activate these turrets, and they'll take out the Zeds as well. So there's that. Now, it's never as easy as the Zeds spawning in one location. This is Killing Floor 3, so they will spawn behind you and from all directions. But when that happens, there we go, there's another Zed. When that happens, we have this zipline. This is a great zipline because no Zeds can follow you across this expanse. A lot of ziplines in the game, you use them and then the Zeds can actually follow you up them and climb up them, but that one they can't, so it buys you just a complete 5-second or 10-second bit of silence from Zeds. Now you can go back to where we were before, and then I've used my gadget again because I got a bit nervous, I was taking some damage. Now I make my run away from the Zeds, and to be honest, I'm kind of at a bit of a panicking point here, but I can close the door, heal myself up, and then I'm back to normal. So if you are a bit in danger and you do need a bit of respite from the Zeds, run down a corridor, close the door, and then there are options. So I've got Z time here, throw the grenade, and now we're back right to where we were before. So by this time the zipline has cooled down and I can use it again. So I like to go in loops. I like to use little loops around the level. Never stay in one place too long. If it does mount up, use the zipline, get away from danger, and then loop back. So that's another strategy, how to complete that map. But, you know, for me, it's all about multiplayer. I do like solo Hell on Earth mode, but multiplayer is where it's at for Killing Floor 3. So here's a full 6-player game on Hell on Earth mode. It's still the most difficult mode, but with 6 people, you know, it's much more fun. And another little thing that people don't really realise about Killing Floor 3 is that the health bars of all the enemies, they're actually the same, whether you play multiplayer or whether you play solo. So, for instance, a Scrake is exactly as healthy in solo as they are in multiplayer, which means you are actually having a much harder time in solo. And it's going to take 6 times as long to take down a Scrake in solo because there's just less people. Maybe it's 5 times. I don't know. I'm not good at maths. But it's harder. Whereas if you play with 6 players, it's going to be 6 times as quick to take down enemies. So in other words, the enemies do not scale in Killing Floor 3. Is that an oversight or is that an intentional part of game design? I think it's an intentional part of game design. I mean, this game has been in development for about 6 years, so I wouldn't say that the developers have forgot to scale the enemies in this game. That's just how it works, and what that means is, you know, 6-player Killing Floor 3 is just more fast-paced. Enemies go down quicker, and for me it's just more fun. So I mean, I hope that helped you play this game in solo, gave you a few little tips for how to play it, you know, some weapon optimization tips, some builds for the engineer which I've linked in this video, and some strategies as well for some maps. But in conclusion, always have a strategy for a map in mind, work on some strategies, and just adapt it for whatever match and whatever map you're playing in and on. So yeah, there we go. Hope you enjoyed the video. That was just me rambling over some Killing Floor 3 gameplay, but if you did enjoy it, subscribe to the channel for more Killing Floor 3 guides.